we gon' run it. Hit the field, blast off, watch a mom fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Ay, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Ay, AFC North talk.
Welcome to AFC North Talk. I am Ace representing the Cincinnati Bengals. We have Jared Bailey representing the Steelers. We've got our man Quincy Carrier. Unfortunately, Sonny cannot be on the podcast today. He's got some personal things that he's tending to, but he should be giving us some of his insight later on. Possibly we'll see how things play out. But thank you guys for tuning in to AFC North Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this podcast out on whatever platform that you are on, whether that's Twitter, wherever it is. Appreciate y'all for that. We, the AFC North, Quincy said it last show, we are not very good right now. It is still a race right now.
It's a race to the bottom, brother. We stink. Dog, the conversation about who's going to get the highest draft pick in this division is actually more interesting than who's going to win the division, because that is an answer with a very obvious conclusion, which is whoever wins this division is getting smacked in the playoffs. So, yeah, this division, I know that we have had many fun years of talking about how much better we are than everybody, but hey, y'all, it's over. The bell has tolled. They're chanting "Fire Tomlin" in Pittsburgh. The articles are coming out about how firing Kevin Stefanski would actually be a big mistake. Ace's profile picture for like 3 months has been a Photoshop of his coach and what I have to believe is Osama bin, can't say that. Yeah. And the Ravens, they just look like, yeah, it's over. They signed Mark Andrews, dog. Like, they have no moves. They're done.
Extension.
This is what the Ravens will be.
Isaiah Likely, congratulations. You are a New England Patriot, brother.
He's going to look amazing with Drake May next year.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, as a Drake May stan, I'm very excited for that. That's going to be glorious.
Super chats are open. As you guys know, whatever super chat you guys send us, we'll go ahead and read it live here on the show. But getting into the first matchup, the Titans are traveling to Cleveland. It's going to be Shedeur versus Cam. Quincy, let's start off with you. What are your thoughts about this game, where it stands with Cleveland right now?
You want my thoughts about this game?
Yes, sir.
Q, do you know what the over-under is for this game?
No, tell them the over-under, Jared.
The over-under is 33.5.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that's still
right, like 15 points, 16 points per team. Yeah. Somebody's getting shut down. Like somebody, the score of this game is going to be like 17-3, right? Like I honestly think the under is probably good. Like, what are the odds that both these offenses just start lighting it up? Probably very low. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons has been a problem. Like that defense for Tennessee has occasionally looked pretty good. And both these offenses are pretty bad right now. So we'll see what happens. It's Shedeur versus Cam Ward. It's the lamest attempt to try to make a magic bird thing I've seen. Like people are trying to hype this up. Oh man, it's the first meeting between these two. I don't think we're going to be counting these, but okay, sure. It's meeting number one. Okay, I remember, I'm old enough to remember when the Cavs drafted Andrew Wiggins and the Bucks drafted Jabari Parker. Everybody was like, oh wow, this is like Bird and Magic. This is like Carmelo LeBron again, y'all. You know, and then what happened? You ain't thought about who Andrew Wiggins playing on the individual game since 2014, dog. So yeah, we'll see. I expect this to be a pretty poor exhibition of football. The Browns have proven that when they play really bad teams, they're usually better than those teams. So I think they'll win because they've proven that they're not that bad. Jets game aside, right? This game's also at home, which is a much different deal for the Browns. So I think the Browns will win this game. I think they'll be able to take this one home. Will it be pretty? No. Will it be exciting? No. Will Browns fans bitch about it because they're like, oh my God, we're going to fall out the draft order? Like, yeah, I don't think you got to really worry about that this year. I think you're going to be able to get your quarterback, but people are going to bitch about it. Yeah. Only thing I care about is how many sacks Myles Garrett gets in this game, if I'm being honest with you. That's what the season's about. I want to see him get to number 24. Once he gets to number 24, get to 25. Once he gets to 25, let's see if he can get 30, right?
I can get 30. Yeah, why not?
You know what this season is? Remember that last year Barry Bonds was on the Giants, and he was only on the Giants to get the home run record. That was a dog shit Giants team. Y'all remember that, dude, with the San Francisco Giants? They were terrible that year. They were on national TV every day because it was like, oh, Barry might hit the big one today. Barry might go 2 for here, right? And that's what the season was about for them. This is that for Cleveland. We are on single season sack record watch and single season sack record watch only.
And hopefully it doesn't end quite like Barry, where like in a few years it comes out that Myles is on a fuckload of PEDs, which I doubt he is. But
I can't blame people for. I can't blame the league testing him. But
yeah, he's a specimen.
Because it's like, how is this guy human? Like he does stuff, and it's like the NFL pointed out. They're like, oh yeah, how does he do this at 272? He's not 272. He's like 300 pounds and he does this shit. And it's like, it's legitimately shocking. He's not on anything. He's passing of drug tests, but this is our Barry Bonds breaking the record watching. Yeah, again, I hope that Myles Garrett does nothing to dilute that memory.
He won't. Just jokes.
What are your thoughts?
Nobody will be more, Jared. Nobody will be more relieved to see Myles Garrett get that record in Tennessee than Mason Rudolph, because in the back of his mind, he's like, "Ooh, Aaron's getting hurt." I don't need him to have 23 and a half, coming into this game, dog.
Bro, if Aaron gets hurt, I don't want to see Mason again. Just throw Will Howard's ass out there so everybody in this fan base will shut the hell up.
Will Howard, guy.
Yeah, which, by the way, Jared, guess who's blocking Myles Garrett this week? Old friend.
Oh, Dan Moore, fans,
yeah. Old Steeler fans used to talk about the Myles Garrett stopper. That lasted a half a season. Remember that? Talk from Steeler fans? Yeah, it's like every time somebody has a decent game against Myles, they talk themselves into he's the Myles Garrett stopper, right? I think Armarius Mims has happened with too before. But yeah, so, Dan Moore going up against Myles.
They gave him so much money in the offseason, by the way. I think he got a 4-year, $81 million deal from Tennessee.
Hey, look, if you are a edge rusher in college and you find yourself to be a good but middling athlete at the position, I need you to change that jersey from number 9 to 75 and learn the kick slide, because there's some money that could be had there. Do you have long arms but lack the bend to be able to get to the passer efficiently? Hey, there's a future for you. Kick slide. What happened to these coaches that used to just be like, no, you're going to play tackle? Like, what happened to the Joe Paternos? That I'm just going to make you into what I want you to be. Like, what happened to those guys? We need that. We need to bring that back, because there's a lot of guys out here who are trying to be the 36th best edge in the SEC who might be the 3rd best tackle.
Well, when we take over the head coaching job at Penn State, if this whole Matt Campbell thing falls through, then we'll be sure to do that.
They're going for Matt Campbell?
That looks like the guy that they're hiring.
I thought he got fired from Iowa State.
He didn't get fired, I don't think. Did he?
Yeah, I thought it came close. Right?
I don't know. I don't keep up with Iowa State.
It's been bad there, right? Like, I remember this being a hot topic like 3 years ago, Matt Campbell, but I remember him doing stuff that like wedded his name.
That's the guy that they're getting. Which I mean, fine, whatever.
But Jared, what are your thoughts on the Titans Browns game?
Betting the under heavily. I don't care. It's 33.5. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. Obviously, like it's weird for me to say, but like I'd like to see Myles break the record. It's fun when special players do special things. So I hope he does it in this game. Yeah, what the hell? Have another 5-sack performance. Why not? Tennessee's bad.
If he does that, like if he has 3-4+ sack games in a season, and can you imagine, Jared, the fucking analytic idiot that's going to get out there in 5 years and be like, yeah, well, Myles broke the sack record, but 15 of those sacks happened in 3 games, as if that's not more impressive.
Right. Yeah. I fully expect him to do it. I hope he does. I've come around a lot on Myles. Like, obviously, like when him and TJ were like, when TJ was actually still like really good. It's so sad to say, because he hasn't been good. But like when TJ was putting up 22.5 and it was, a real conversation like, oh man, is TJ better than Myles? Is Myles better than TJ? Obviously I fell in the allegiance of TJ. But right now, man.
Have you seen that TikTok trend where it's like, it's so hard to go from this to this, where it's like somebody doing something fun and then like the next cut is them at their 9 to 5?
Yeah.
It's like the TJ Watt. It's so hard to go from this, and he's standing up doing to whatever you're seeing from TJ Watt now, and it's like
getting blanked by Ryan Van Denmark
by the Bills. That was nasty work.
So yeah, I hope Myles breaks it. In terms of Tennessee, there's just not a lot there, man. I think Cam Ward. I think that they have the guy. You see some of these throws that he's made. Like I've watched a little bit of the Titans film just to see some of the throws. Somebody did a cut up of like some really nice Cam Ward tosses this season. And obviously, anybody can do some cut ups of like nice throws that are being made, but some of these windows that he's just saying, yeah, fuck it, I could fit it in there. And he is. Cam Ward, I think is going to be good. It's just a matter of getting him a receiver, his number one target not being Elick Ayamanor or Calvin Ridley. Who's the
Calvin Ridley ain't even there, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he started the year there. He got Calvin really get hurt.
4th rounders. He's throwing the Senior Bowl roster right now. That's what he's doing.
Who's the Xavier Restrepo, his friend from Miami? Like that's who he's got on the field right now. There's just not a lot of guys there. But regardless, like he's showing some nice arm talent. So that's the thing I'm going to pay attention to is, all right, how many sacks is Myles going to get? I'm going to bet this under, and hopefully Cam Ward makes like a fun, couple fun plays like he has throughout the year. It kind of goes under the radar because the Titans are bad, and he doesn't have anybody that he's throwing to. There's not a flashy name really on this roster outside of Jeffrey Simmons, and even so, Jeffrey Simmons is a D tackle. There's not really a good skill position guy that he has. So I'll pay attention to like a select few things. But yeah, I fully expect Cleveland to win a very low scoring game.
Yeah, this is nasty. Shamir Dyke.
Shamir DK.
I think it's DK.
Like that's James Prochet.
James Prochet.
Yeah, this is the worst
in 2020.
This is the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. It's not. I don't even have to see anybody else. I don't have.
At least the Steelers have DK. Before we fall into complete shit.
The question here really is like, hey, are Brown's offense going to turn the ball over? Right? Like that's
if they set him up with short fields, then I get a little bit nervous about.
Or did you just like straight up throw pick sixes? Right? Like I think that's the big question. It's like, hey, will Shador keep the game clean, play within himself like he should, or will he get caught up in this?
Is Sneed playing in this game? He's not hurt or anything. L'Jarius Sneed, is he like dealing with anything?
I don't believe so.
I might look just to be sure. I mean, he was great with Kansas City. I don't know what he's.
Is this like the Ravens castaways? Jalen Armour Davis. They've got him.
Oh yeah.
This is funny.
They have so many pieces on that offensive line too, in terms of like money and draft pieces, and they've just whiffed them. Like Peter Skoronski. They brought in Kevin Zeitler. They paid Dan Moore. Who is it? Cushenberry. Another one of their guys. They've done so much
Latham
in terms of like JC Latham. Yeah, like they've tried to fix that offensive line, and they've just at strikeout after strikeout. It's not that all of these guys are like god awful, but like a few of the big contracts that they've given or high end draft picks that they've put into that offensive line just haven't panned out.
Yeah. I'm looking at this game. I think this advantage definitely goes to the Browns, especially looking at what this offense has with Cam Ward. You talk about it. He doesn't have many receivers. It's a good Browns defense. We know that they're going to do their thing. Jared, you just talked about, how the Titans offensive line has been bad. I think it is at one point wasn't Cam Ward on track to be like the most sacked quarterback of all time or something crazy like that, like midway through the season. So I'm pretty sure
Deshaun took like 70 sacks in the season before. So like,
yeah, he was on target for like 70 plus, bro. He was on target. I don't know if he's still on target for it. But yeah, I remember having a debate with Zim, and we were talking
God
about
almighty, he's been sacked 48 times.
We were talking about Joe Burrow, and he was like, well, Cam Ward's getting sacked. What's his issue? And I was like, wow, I didn't know it was crazy like that, but not ideal.
So that's 4 sacks a game, roughly.
It's giving up 4 sacks a game.
That's bizarre.
And you got Myles Garrett this week. Doesn't seem to line up for them. I think this one is Cleveland for sure. I trust their offense for sure more than the Titans. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that Cleveland doesn't have issues on offense, but I just trust that they'll be able to get something done. They got guys that actually know who they are catching the ball on that side. And then you talk about the running back that Cleveland has. I think they'll be able to run the ball as well. We'll see if Shedeur has some success against this Titans team. But yeah, I can see why this Titans team has won one game this season. They are not good by any means. Now the defense, they still got some guys on defense: Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, Devondre Sweat, Sebastian Day. So they can do some things possibly, but I just don't see it with this team. Oh, they're the team that got Kevin Winston Jr. Okay, but
out of Penn State.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I just see the Browns clearing them in this one, bro. I don't think that.
I will add this caveat: the last time the Browns played the Titans at home, it was a game where the Browns were very expected to win it. It was right after the 2018 season. I think I bought season tickets with my brother that year. And the first drive, the Browns scored pretty easy, and we're like, "Oh, we got a quarterback. We're about to live the good life." And then the Browns lost that game like 40-7. Derrick Henry went off. Like, it was before the big run versus the Jaguars, so we didn't know he was like that. Like, it was they beat us, they jumped into our crowd, and they mocked us after the game.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the peak Mike Vrabel-ism of the Titans. So, I just don't trust the Browns at home versus the Titans anymore after that experience. But we'll see. Like, they should win this game. Certainly not the same team from 2019. But, yeah, it's just – I just worry about Shedeur trying to keep up with what he thinks in his head is a rivalry with Cam Ward. And – I worry about guys not playing with themselves this week. Now, it might go both ways. This might be one of them nasty, both quarterbacks threw 3 interception games. And I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I can't imagine it's pleasant.
Bro, it's Cleveland in December. It's not going to be great.
It's going to be at least cold and windy, right? Like, at a minimum. The question is if they're going to be snow or not. But, It's Browns Titans. It's just a bad.
You can make plus money if you bet Cam Ward to throw an interception. It's plus 104 right now. I might have to throw a little bit of cheddar on
I would. Well, yeah, because him trying to throw into late windows with Denzel Ward lurking, it's probably gonna happen.
I wonder.
It's 34 degrees, likely snow, 10-mile-per-hour wind.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be not great.
Well, look, the worse the weather conditions, the more you probably take the team with the stronger home quarterback.
In terms of covering, maybe. Because if they just run the ball a hell of a ton and aren't putting the ball in harm's way, it just becomes like a, hey, let's limit how many drives every team gets. And yeah, maybe.
Are they the team with Rico Dowell? Or is that the Panthers?
No, that's the Panthers. They got Tyjae Spears and Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard's been decent this year for my fantasy.
He's been fine.
He's fine.
As soon as interception props come up, maybe I'll throw a little bit on like a Carson Schwarzenegger pick. That'd be good.
Carson Schwarzenegger, nice. Got some super chats here. The 188 $5 super chat says, Sonny, I'm pushing all the chips to the table. Mike Tomlin will walk into MNT and come out with that win. That's one that we'll get into later on in the show. And then we got another one.
Got to eat your chips with the biscuit.
The watch Myles Garrett. I guess he means watch Myles Garrett hopefully break the record game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we on record watch. We on record watch. You know what I mean? We like, oh, was that 20? Is that number 20 right here? That's what we're doing. When's the last time the single season home run record got broken? Was that Barry Bonds too?
What is the record? Like 72? Yeah, probably Barry.
Hey
Probably
man,
Barry.
I don't care what
remember,
he was
yeah,
on. He's the greatest baseball player of my lifetime.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I don't care. I don't care that he,
bro. 40 years old. That's hard to do with steroids, man.
Yeah. And so like steroids and speeding up your hand-eye coordination and hitting that bitch. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Look, man. You could take a lot of drugs and not be Barry Bonds, man.
That should have been my senior quote.
For sure. Next one we have is going to be Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills. Jared, do you have the opening line for this one?
Let me get it up. I know that the Bills were favored. Let me get
this
it.
one's going to be in Buffalo. This is at Highmark Stadium.
Bills favored by 5.5.
5.5. Okay, so it has stuck where it started, I think, at 7. It's moved down to 5.5. This is going to be one where the Bengals are getting T. Higgins back in this game. No Trey Hendrickson for them in this one. Buffalo also has some injuries at the linebacker position. They're also going to be without Joey Bosa, so that's something in terms of the notable injuries here. For me, I think looking at this one, the Buffalo Bills, even though they did their thing against the Steelers last week, they did not look good in that first half. Like things that stick out to me from them in that game were the turnovers. You talk about the interception from Josh Allen, the Cook fumble that he had. That is where I think the Bengals can get an advantage in this game is looking at what Josh Allen has done over, I want to say, the last 3 or 4 games, turnover-wise. If they can force him into one of those turnovers, if they can capitalize on that, I think that bodes well for the Bengals defense. When it comes to Josh Allen, though, I think the bigger threat, I'm not going to say he's a bigger threat than Josh Allen, but I think Cook is definitely running the ball at a good pace right now and could take advantage of a Bengals run defense that they've had, which recently hasn't struggled as much, but there's been times where they've allowed 160-plus yard rushers, and Cook definitely has that potential to be that for them. But I think that this has to be a game where not only is the run game involved from both sides, but both quarterbacks are going to have to – like, we want to see both quarterbacks go at each other. This is Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. We waited for this. Like, this game, I didn't even know if this was a possibility based off of the Joe Burrow injury, but now with Joe back, seems like he shook off some rust in the second half of that Ravens game, getting back to who he is. I'm excited to really see this matchup. The thing is, I just look at the Dalton Kincaid situation. I'm not sure. Is he going to be healthy for this one? Does anyone know?
He's listed as questionable. I would assume he plays.
Yeah, he's possibly going to play. I think he's got a hamstring and a knee injury that he's fighting through right now. He's going to be a big part of this play, this game, I think, for them. And I think that the Bengals have obviously struggled against tight ends this season. That's going to be a guy that I'm looking at for that matchup. But I'm not going to lie. When I look at the rest of the receivers for Buffalo right now, I really just want to put 8 in the box, honestly. Like, Brandon Cooks, like, nah, dog, I'm not.
I literally, as you said that, I definitely just threw 10 on a Brandon Cooks anytime touchdown to win 110.
Brandon Cook, I mean, Khalil Shakir, I respect him. Brandon Cooks on the outside. I mean, I think what the Bengals will do will probably be to put DJ Turner on Shakir. Does that mean Brandon Cooks could beat somebody? Possibly. Keon Coleman has been in kind of a weird doghouse with them, was able to get a touchdown last week. So I think that this is a situation where the Bengals are actually playing the Bills at the right time. They're in the middle of kind of this turnover kind of streak that they've been having. I think that they've lost a few games. I think at this point, most people expected them to be head and shoulders, number one in the AFC East or close to it at least. And right now, they just seem to be You said, what's up? You said something, Q? Did he just freeze?
I think so. I think he's frozen. Up there.
Okay. What did you say?
Yeah, I think, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, they're not even close to being in the top of the
Yeah, they're not even close. They're like 6-5. I know the Patriots have, I believe, 9-10 wins or something like that. Yeah, it's a situation where the Buffalo Bills aren't where they are expected to be at this point. So obviously, coming into this game, that's something for them. I don't know if they're more desperate than the Bengals because the Bengals obviously have to win every single game here on out to even have a chance. But they still are desperate as well, right? Because they still have to get into the playoffs as well with this logjam that we have in the AFC as it stands right now. The thing for the Bengals, I think, is having T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow finally back on the field since the first time since week 2. It's going to bode well for the Bengals. I think also Chase Brown, he's been very a big part of this offense from the last 6 weeks. You know, they're able to establish the run. They're able to run efficiently with Chase Brown. He's had some success out there. And I think that I was in a Bills space and everybody from the Bills side was saying, hey, this isn't the same Bills team. And I respect that. It's not the same defense. They feel like the defense is better. And I think a lot of people, what's kind of going under the radar, especially because Joe Burrow has been out, is this is probably the best Bengals offensive line that has ever been there in the Joe Burrow era. They are top 10 in sacks allowed in terms of the least amount. They're not, they only allowed 1 sack last week, and that was to a corner. Like, they are protecting, but the bigger thing, I always kind of talked about this, like, yes, the Bengals had Joe Mixon. Yes, he was considered a great running back, but I always told people the Bengals run blocking was awful. Like, they were atrocious. And now the run blocking is actually starting to improve as well. And that's one of the things that I think is also going under the radar is the way that the Bengals are run blocking now has been better. You talk about Amarius Mims. He's definitely doing his thing out there. You talk about having Orlando Brown Jr. have some bounce back games. And now you kind of have a Bengals team where they have a good offensive line. And that's, I know people have talked about the defense, but the number one thing that I've always talked about is get Joe Burrow a line. He may actually have a line now, which is scary for them. Josh Allen is going to do his thing, and the Bengals are going to have to try to slow this team down by any means. They're going to have to take advantage of those possessions. They cannot come out slow because they came out slow as well against the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to have to convert on any of those opportunities that they can against them. And I think it starts with trying to slow down the run, trying to drive turnovers. And I think on offense, the Bengals are going to do what they do. I think if they can try to get a lead against a team like the Bills, that is going to try to take not Dalvin Cook, but that's going to take Cook out of the game if they can do that. So I'm going to roll with the Bengals in this one. I just think if the Bengals defense, Geno Stone, one of those guys, is able to force an interception, I think if they can do that and try to stop the run early with the 0 blitzes that they kind of deployed against Baltimore last week and try to get a lead to take the run game out of it that way, I think that that's a way that the Bengals can come out here and win this game. So I'm going to take the Bengals in Buffalo. Q, are you all right? Are you having some technical issues? Are you good?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and toss it to Jarrett.
Yeah, with Buffalo against Pittsburgh, like their run defense was like uncharacteristically good. The thing with Buffalo is when they face like a good run defense, they get eaten alive. They've allowed 190 or more yards on the ground 3 times this year. So that if I'm Cincinnati, obviously I want to take advantage of having Burrow, Chase, and Higgins out there because the pass defense for the Bills can be taken advantage of too. But if you are able to get the ground game going a little bit, like don't be afraid to lean into it a little bit. With Buffalo, I think, you talked about Cook being, a big threat. I think that that's what they're, largely going to lean into is similar to what they did against Pittsburgh, where if they don't need Josh to throw the ball 30 times and they can just have James Cook, put up $140, they can control the clock, they can run for nearly 200 yards as a team, then they'll happily live in that world. With Cincinnati, like we know that that's kind of been their biggest struggle. We saw it against Chicago. We saw it against the Jets. Like we've seen it, a few, more than a few times this year. So that is the biggest thing for me is if the Bills aren't going to have to put the ball in harm's way because they can just run it all game, they can control the clock, limit how many times and how much time that the Bengals offense spends on the field, then, they're certainly playing at their pace, at their game at that point. Games in Buffalo hasn't really been a factor in the past. Joe Burrow 2-0 against Josh Allen. So, he's got the head-to-head matchup all time.
They've only played twice.
Well, you got to remember Joe's been hurt. So,
yeah.
And, they only play the AFC North every so often. So,
but you think they finish in it? Well, no, because Bengals ain't been consistently finishing first.
Yeah, the last time that they played was 2023 in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then the time before that was obviously the playoff game. So, they've had success in that regard. Will they this time around? I wouldn't be surprised just because like I said, the Bills defense, like you can take advantage of them in all facets. Christian Benford has started to play a little bit better for Buffalo in terms of the cornerback position. They've gotten solid play out of rookie Max Hairston. But, it's still Jamar Chase. It's still T. Higgins. Very rarely are you going to be able to just completely shut both of those guys down. I think it'll be a fun game. Hopefully we get to see a little bit of like offensive back and forth. And maybe this is the game that the Bills can unlock their passing attack a little bit because, you can do that against a Bengals defense that's last in the NFL in yards per game. So, maybe you air it out to Brandon Cooks once or twice. Maybe you air it out to Gabe Davis a couple times. Let Khalil Shakir be more than just an underneath guy. Because when they've done that before, it's worked out pretty well. So, especially if Kincaid's back, like he'll certainly help open up the middle of the field. I hope it's a fireworks show. I hope that we get to see both these guys go back and forth because that's a very fun thing to watch when both Joe and Josh are at the top of their games. I'm gonna pick Buffalo, but I'm not gonna be surprised if this is a game where Burrow just says, "Yeah, we're not losing," throws for 400 yards and they win.
Q.
Yeah, I mean, the question is like, how little do you believe in Buffalo's wide receivers versus how little do you believe in the Bengals secondary, right? Like the Bengals secondary has been like the most shaky part of this team. We could say that, the Bills don't have much of a wide receiver, but I can't name you who the Jets had that game without Garrett Wilson, right? Where they were able to put up 40 points on them. I have to imagine that Buffalo is going to be able to win this game. Cincinnati, like, Joe Burrow being gone is part of the reason they don't have the winning record right now, but they were, correct me if I'm wrong here, but they were on their way to a bad record with Joe Burrow healthy already, right? Like they already had these issues at the beginning of the season. And I think that the Buffalo is just a better team than them right now. And they really do need to win, right? Like they both need this game. And yeah, Joe Burrow could go into I gotta have it mode, but if Josh Allen even comes close to matching it, then the needle turns towards Buffalo. So I'm gonna take Buffalo here. And I feel pretty comfortable with that.
So final game is the AFC North showdown, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Where's this game at? Is this in Baltimore? Or is this
in Baltimore? Yeah,
in Baltimore. So they had 2 home games in a row. Baltimore Ravens, I would expect them to be, they should be favored in this one, right? I know we had weird stuff with the Lamar out of practice yesterday, return to practice today.
They're favored. They're also 5.5 point favorites. So same spread as Bills Bengals.
5.5. That's interesting. That is interesting.
I thought it would be higher personally. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start with Q on this one. Q, what are your thoughts going into this AFC North matchup with the Steelers and the Ravens?
Oh, man, this is one you got to ask yourself, like, okay, what Lamar Jackson are we getting, right? Because if you get the same version of Lamar Jackson that we've been seeing the last few weeks, Pittsburgh's probably going to win this game. But if you get any version of Lamar Jackson that reminds you of who actually Lamar is, then obviously I think the Ravens are going to win this one. We know that the Steelers defense, I mean, it's not like can't be trusted territory. It's just like you don't want to leave them at home alone. That's the kind of defense that they got. Right? It's not the kind of defense you feel comfortable about leaving at home alone. You got to get a babysitter for them. And that's kind of where the Ravens offense is right now. Like both of these teams are in the same place on opposite sides of the ball as each other, right? The defense for the Ravens has been surprisingly pretty good the last few weeks. And you could say the same with the Steelers offense, at least in the complete total sum, not maybe the last few games here. And then you can make the argument that the Ravens offense has been as disappointing as the Steelers defense has been. In these situations, you usually say, hey, what, Tomlin ball can do it? Is this in Pittsburgh?
No, it's in Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore.
You can say the Tomlin ball could do it. This is the one team that can match Pittsburgh with kicker bullshit. So I'm going to say that the Ravens are going to win this one, but I'm going to be honest, my prediction that held after the Ravens Bengals game is going to be the same one I stick to. Yeah, somebody's going to win this game and be in first place, but we're not going to be impressed by what we see. This is not going to be impressive. Maybe Lamar does a little bit there to justify him being Lamar, but other than that, it's going to be pretty mediocre football.
That's pretty nasty for the Ravens Steelers standards for this year. That aligns with what we've seen this year from this division. So.
Like, I know they're gonna hype this shit up. Oh, Ravens Steelers for first place. Oh man, is this on national TV, by the way?
This is the Nance Romo game.
This is the Nance Romo one. It's the 6-7 bowl.
I don't know. Oh, it's always tough between these two. You got to throw the record books out, Jim. You got to throw the record books out like you've ever thrown the record books out between Pittsburgh and fucking Baltimore in the history of that rivalry, right? You got to throw the record books out here, Jim. These teams been struggling, but look, they're going to figure it out this game. And then you're like, no, they're actually just playing pretty fucking shitty, sloppy football because this is what the fuck they are at this point. Like, both teams should fire the coach. Like, you should have to be like, all right, I'll sign an agreement. I'll fire my coach in February if we lose this game. That should be if we need a stip for this game to make it interesting, call me because I'm going to.
Loser leaves AFC North in terms of Mike Tomlin. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh.
And then Mike Tomlin will have like a Cody Rhodes bullshit finish to this game and win it. Like, guys are going to fucking run in and figure out a way for him to get like a pin. But yeah, man, this is peak nasty work, man. This game is just like, bro. This is Pittsburgh and Baltimore we're talking about this with. It's usually like, oh man, if the Browns and Bengals find a way to be at the top of the division, people are going to dog us. No, these are the two top brands of the division, and I have no confidence they're going to represent us well in this game.
Nor should you. No, this is going to be ugly.
So, Jared, we kind of been talking about this. Obviously, you guys dropped one in the last game. What are your thoughts and what's your confidence level heading into this game against the Baltimore Ravens?
It's, I don't know, like strangely confident. They're not better than Baltimore. Obviously, they don't have the quarterback advantage. They don't have the weapons advantage. Defensively, Baltimore's defense has been a lot better than the Steelers over the last, month in specific. This is usually just a game that they win for whatever reason. Now they've lost the last 2 in Baltimore, but over the last 10, they're 7-3 against Baltimore. So it's a game that they usually win. If they win, it doesn't change how I feel about them because like I said, they've handled Baltimore pretty well over the last number of years, even through like the Pickett, Trubisky BS. So it's not going to change how I feel about them because they historically, just play Baltimore really well. After that, it's still the same way that I felt. Now for the Ravens, you fall to 6-7 if you're Baltimore. I don't know what their schedule is off the top of my head, but I know it ain't easy. I know they still got to play New England. They got to play Green Bay. I don't think they're winning both of those. So you look at that. If you get to 6-7 and you're going to lose another one of those games, all right, then you're at 9-8. Like, Ace, you're obviously a Bengals fan trying to, hope that they catch up to I assume that you're rooting for Pittsburgh in this game because that presents such an easier thing.
I'm rooting for Pittsburgh. I need you guys to split overall, but I'm rooting for Pittsburgh in this one.
Okay. Well, see, my point exactly, because I think I don't think they're going to sweep Baltimore. So if they lose this game, I think that they'll win the season finale at home. Mm-hmm. Lamar hasn't had a touchdown in a month, hasn't played the same offensively. Since week 8, both these teams stink. The Steelers are 27th in EPA. The Ravens are 19th. So both offenses have sucked, and it's been noticeable. The Steelers, they put up 166 yards against the Bills. Like it's almost hard to be that bad offensively. They signed Adam Thielen. Sure. Why not? I do think though that they claim him on waivers and he's on like the 53 man. He's on the practice squad, so he'll play. I think MVS is going to get elevated this week just because they got to try something. So maybe something crazy happens and we see like Adam Thielen like actually help.
The meme has never been stronger. Mike Tomlin gonna say some shit like dogs eat biscuits and then signs a 2018 Pro Bowl.
Yep. And lo and behold, he did just that. So
that's gotta be fucking that's gotta be exhausting if you're a Steeler fan. Like them bringing in Adam Thielen and then Marquez Valdez-Scantling and being like, we're gonna fix that problem with these guys. After after they just fucking cut Darius Slay, who is a prime example of this philosophy just not working.
No, exactly. It's like tearing off your nose to spite your face at this point. It's now look, Adam Thielen is better than anybody else they had.
Fair.
But this is why you don't wait till December and you throw a dart at a board and hope it sticks in the form of Adam Thielen. That's why you make moves in March, April, May, June, July, August. So you get, your roster together and you can make, you make the moves in the offseason when everybody else is making moves, not just sit around with your thumb up your ass thinking that Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson are going to be able to be competent number twos, which they haven't been. Now, in Roman Wilson's defense, if you watch the tape, he's getting open. So there is that. I think he should still get a helmet because he's at least shown ability to create space, get open, just hasn't got the ball a lot. Calvin Austin, I don't need to see any more of Calvin Austin. I know what Calvin Austin is at this point. He's a fourth receiver on a good team. I would give MVS a helmet over Calvin Austin this week just because, again, I know what Calvin Austin is. At least with MVS, he's played with Aaron before. There's probably going to be at least a little bit of that built-in chemistry there. With Adam Thielen, I don't need to see 4 goddamn tight ends have a helmet this week. I don't need Cam's little brother getting 4 offensive snaps and playing special teams. Make him a healthy scratch. Give Adam Thielen some offensive snaps. Get MVS in there. You got to try something new because what you've been doing.
Eric Ebron out of retirement, get a 5th helmet there for a time.
Eric Ebron. No, I hope that MVS or Adam Thielen do catch a touchdown because in the history of the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers to Adam Thielen being a touchdown that happens for this franchise would actually be very funny, and I'd like that to happen. If you want Adam Thielen anytime touchdown, anybody, I've been watching this all week. It's lower than I was hoping it would be, but it's still plus 800. So
is he coming for the Roman Wilson touchdown?
Oh, maybe it's the garbage time touchdown. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It'd be like, wow, you're just stealing from your brother at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
You could let Roman get that touchdown. You had to come in and steal it. The vet, how many touchdowns you got? You can't let him have that one.
I think that I'm going to throw I just threw a 10 on Brandon Cooks, which is plus 1,100. I'll do the same thing with Adam Thielen. If you parlay them together, it's over $1,000. So maybe I'll do that for fun. Just throw a 10. You could just light $10 on fire too, I guess. But it's worth trying.
Point out that this podcast promotes responsible gambling.
Oh yeah, don't throw the mortgage on it. But if you got a $5, yeah, don't throw more than $10 on it. Absolutely not. Sure. Defensively for Pittsburgh, I would love to say that this is going to be
more than what you can afford in Netflix subscriptions, right?
That's a very good way of going about it. I like to say that the pass rush would get after it, but I just saw what they did against Alec Anderson and Ryan Van Denmark. They made them look like all pros. So I'm not going to hold my breath that TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith are going to have massive games. I think Nick Herbig, my boy, will do something cool. He'll get at least 1 tackle for loss. Maybe he'll get a sack. But in terms of the pass rush, I don't have a lot of faith there. Derek Harmon's not playing. That's not good because whenever he doesn't play, they can't stop the run. So I expect Derrick Henry to have maybe his best game of the year. Derrick Henry hasn't had a great season. So maybe he'll put up big yards and they'll lean on that and try to take the pressure off Lamar. If it works, then it's going to look probably pretty similar to what the wild card game looked like in January, where it's just spam the Derrick Henry button. If Pittsburgh plans for that, which they should, and just loads the box, sends pressure against Lamar and tells him to beat him through the air, then I think they have a better shot at winning. I'll hesitantly pick Pittsburgh. It's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think it's going to be, it's going to be what Steelers Ravens traditionally is. It'll be a gross rock fight in bad weather in Baltimore. I'll say Pittsburgh wins 19-16.
So I was looking at Aaron Rodgers' last 3 games, and I was going to ask you, Jared, is he part of the problem? Because it's 117 yards, 47% completion percentage last game, 116 yards the game before that, 161 with 2 interceptions. Is he washed now, or is it just the Steelers' offense is that bad?
I think it could be a combination of both. I think that if he was in a more competent offense with a better receiving core, then he'd look a little bit better. If he was the Bengals quarterback right now, I think that things would be going pretty well. But alas, he's not. Offensive line wise, Steelers offensive line's good. I think Aaron, we talked about it before. Anytime he senses any sort of pressure, he's killing that pass and starting again. He doesn't want to get hit. He was only sacked once against Buffalo, but the sack was a strip sack by Joey Bosa and it was ran back for a touchdown. So that kind of killed him.
It's kind of shocking he's never played anywhere warm. Like,
I guess so.
Like, the cold always seems to get him in his career. Like at the second half of these seasons, even in his prime, the cold has always got him. He's from California. And he's always playing in the fucking coldest places you can be. like he's not. Is Pittsburgh the warmest places he's been? Because it's colder in New York in winter. And then what? It's colder. It's definitely colder.
I don't know, bro. It gets cold here.
It gets pretty cold in Pittsburgh, but y'all ain't near no bodies of water. That's the fucking problem here.
We have 3 rivers. What are you talking about?
Okay, we're talking about an ocean and a Great Lake.
Pittsburgh gets cold, damn it.
Pittsburgh gets cold, no doubt. It ain't lake cold. You don't get lake effect snow.
No, we don't.
Or ocean waves get blowing that wind. Like it's just a different type of cold when you near that big ass water. That's the worst shit.
I've also never been to like Manhattan in the wintertime, so I don't know what that feels.
Have you
like.
been ever been near like the lakefront in like the winter?
I don't think the winter. No,
you got to do it. It'll change your perception out of it. It's like 50-mile-per-hour winds on the north.
Oh no, I totally believe it.
Yeah. But
I'm
it's
sure
like he's been playing at these like cold ass places. I'm like, wow, Pittsburgh's really the warmest place he's played, and it's fucking cold in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so like he hasn't been good, but I still think the root of the problem comes back to, all right, well, you got nobody worth a piss playing opposite of DK Metcalf. They're not leaning into running the ball like they should. They're not leaning into Jaylen Warren being their best offensive player, which he is. So I think a lot of it has to do with team building, has a lot to do with offensive philosophy. Look, I defend Arthur Smith because like there was a point like through 7 weeks of the season, the Steelers had a top 10 offense in terms of EPA per play, and working with that just pile of ass that he was having to work with to do that, I commend Art for that. It was never going to last all season, unfortunately, because, nothing with, just lackluster weapons is that sustainable. This isn't me saying that I, think Art's perfect, but I think that people have really hammered him when like there's only so much he can do with the talent that they have. So Aaron's been a problem. Art's been a problem. I wouldn't say that in the grand scheme of things, they are the 2 biggest things wrong with the Steelers. I think the biggest things wrong with the Steelers is that for a second straight year, they didn't find a wide receiver 2. They didn't build a competent enough wide receiver room. And defensively, the defense isn't good and really lets them down in big moments. So, obviously that comes back to Mike Tomlin and things I've said a million times and I'm just tired of saying.
Jared, look, my comp for him being CM Punk, it continues to be golden.
Dude, I'm waiting
because now we're seeing PG Roger, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel the same with him, and you can be like, the problem is he's wrestling like Jey Uso, and the creative is
well.
Not
hey,
great.
after funny you say that because after the Bills game. They asked him like what was up with the offense and whatnot, how can it get fixed? And he kind of started going there. He's like, well, when we have, film rooms, everybody needs to show up. And when I signal what to do at the line of scrimmage, everybody does what I say to do. I'm like, there it is. That. There's the voice of the voiceless. It's coming out of him. Oh, he's this close to being old, fucking tired and working with fucking children. He's this close. Yeah. Oh, he's getting pissed.
It is always funny with people like Aaron Rodgers and CM Punk and like other, like there's like artists like this, like rappers like this, where people are like, I know Chance was like this for a while, where people are like, I need you to be in a worse mood because the music isn't as good when you're happy, right? And that's the same thing with Aaron. It's like, I need you to be a little bit more fed up, Aaron. I need you to be mad because
I need that with plenty of quarterbacks. Like I need, and I don't know, maybe I don't pay close enough attention to Joe, but like I don't. Outside of that one Titans game, was it last year or 2023?
Yeah, last year when they.
That's like the only time I've seen Joe get like kind of pissed. I need Joe to get pissed and start cursing people out. I need Josh Allen to motherfucker.
Joe is like the Hawk. I think he's always like some level of pissed off, like during the games. He's just kind of like. He's never really happy during the games. Like the Joe you see at press conferences is not the guy you see during the game. Because during the game, he's always kind of slightly irritated at something. Like him and Lamar, underrated, always angry guys.
Aaron is constantly pissed off. Like it's not even subtle. Like Aaron's not happy ever.
The one where his lineman, where he threw the touchdown and his lineman like fell.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, look, in that instance, that was a fair reaction. I mean, from 42 years old, they were fine after it.
Mario joke. Like the funny thing about it was he's trying to be personable and fun and be like, "Oh, look at me, I'm having fun with my guys." Yeah, and then somebody knocks him over. He's like, "Hey, you lost your fucking mind." He just turns into Vince McMahon like immediately.
He is such an interesting human being, Aaron Rodgers is.
I like him. Have we figured out who his wife is? I don't know.
I'm also not really digging because I don't care. I don't care if she's real or not. I'm going to assume she is.
That's another thing that happened. This week I found out that Dylan Gabriel has a fiance. So that's been something I've been like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Because apparently she was mad at the Browns.
Yeah, she was going off. I saw that this week. She was taking shots.
I think I only knew that because like my girlfriend saw like a TikTok of her.
Yeah, I think that's how you find out.
Yeah, that's usually how you find out about people. That's how my girlfriend finds out about anybody. She was a big Juan Thornhill fan because she liked his girlfriend on TikTok. I was like, all right, well, I got bad news for you. They just cut Juan Thornhill.
Look, the TikTok revolution was great for the wags.
Yeah,
right, the wives
it certainly was. Did you see? Oh, speaking of wags, maybe I won't talk about it on air, but I'll ask it off air because it's mean.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk, Jared. We'll talk. Jonnu Smith. Where the hell is Jonnu Smith?
Us just tried to save Jared.
I know exactly what you're talking about, my guy.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure that you saw it. God damn.
A lot of mid on there.
There's a lot of bench power forwards taking place here. She's put up 8 and 4 rebounds. I need more than that.
Oh my God. But no, I think for this one, I think as it stands right now, Ravens, Steelers, Lamar does look bad as it stands right now. I do think that they're going to come out and try to run the ball based off of what they saw against Buffalo. They're going to try to commit to Derrick Henry. We'll see if that works against the Steelers. It could possibly work. I just think the whole Lamar not practicing until Friday thing is just kind of weird. I don't know what kind of
apparently he got stepped on.
Yeah, he got his foot got stepped on or something, right?
Yeah, he said he got stepped on Wednesday. Didn't practice Thursday. Somebody asked him about it.
Though, like he's
already has an ankle injury, knee injury. Yeah, now somebody stepped on the foot. Is just I don't know how that's gonna bode for them. But the Steelers' offense is the concern for me in this one. I think the Steelers' defense, even though they had an off game against the Bills, I think we saw in the first half they were able to try to control some things. That's the thing that makes me feel uneasy is if Baltimore's able to establish the run, I kind of trust them a little bit more because I'm not sure what to make of this Aaron Rodgers offense as it stands right now. Now, could they start to use the run game back against Baltimore? I think you saw last week with Chase Brown and Bengals were able to have some success doing that. We'll see what they'll be able to do. But Baltimore right now is looking like a team that's stumbling. And I think if the Steelers can come out here and still win in Baltimore, that is going to have them shaky for the most part for the rest of the season. We kind of talked about those other games. They still have to play the Bengals again. They still have to play
the Ravens?
Yeah, they still have to play the Ravens again. Well, no, the Ravens. Yeah. The Ravens have to play.
Still have to play Green Bay, New England.
Green Bay, New England, and the Steelers and the Bengals again. This is a crazy stretch of remaining games for them while they're struggling. So this is a must-win game.
And
I think, for them.
If the Steelers win this, then they get Miami next Monday night. That's a winnable game. Considering, the history of like Tua not playing well in the cold, the Dolphins not doing well in the cold. So if they win and get to 7-6,
Miami.
What's up?
You don't have to qualify it. It's Miami. They're stinky.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people who are like, they've been saying this shit. Yes, exactly.
Because you hate Tua and they have identified you as chief Tua hater. That is why
we've got them too, Jared. So I'm like, at first I was like a couple weeks ago, I was like, we'll just run through those last 3 games, and now I'm looking at it like I don't know. Like the Dolphins
the Bengals last 3. They got Arizona in there somewhere.
Arizona, Dolphins, and Browns. Week 18.
That's if they can get through this and beat Buffalo. I think that they can run the table and get to 9-8, which then brings us to the point of all right, you're gonna
Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore. for fucking up the Bengals season. You really gonna put me in a bind. Bettering my life for the next 10, 15 years or making Bengal fans really mad.
Well, here's the thing. If you get the first one, the second one kind of comes with it if they end up good.
Yeah, but then you got to wait for it to happen, right?
Good things come to those who wait.
You put your money in a C and D, you get 5% back over 5 years.
I've been there before, brother. 4th and 12, Tyler Boyd ruining the Ravens season.
I'll put Buffalo in the playoffs.
Got me Andy Dalton for a couple more years. I will say I'd gladly take the L instead of Andy Dalton sticking around for another couple
years. Is there
a
world where we can lose a game here or there to make that a vanilla Vic result, where we get what we want and we fuck your season up? Can we? Know, bro. Is there a way we can force that? Like, do we just got to lose this game versus Tennessee? We got to figure out the analytics.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the Browns?
They've only won one game.
Oh, the Browns play nothing but playoff teams after this. It's like the Bengals. It's the Bengals, Ravens, the Steelers, the Bears, and the Bills.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that they're going to win more than I think 2 is the absolute max.
I need that Cleveland special from last year.
I'm pretty confident we're going to get to that Bengals game winless. It's just a question of, all right, well, now, is that going to put you in a position to win that game and fuck their season up? Well, also, you're getting a quarterback. You know what I mean?
You really want to have a lot of your cake and eat it too here, because you want Myles to get to like 30. You want to only win a certain amount of games.
It's not having my cake and eating it too. It is just getting the bare minimum out of a 3-4 win season.
I mean, I guess so.
Like, having your cake and eating it too is getting Fernando Mendoza to be your quarterback and winning the fucking Super Bowl at the same time. It's what the Rams are doing. God damn it, that's getting your cake.
Well, that's because the Falcons are stupid.
That's what I'm saying. The Falcons are stupid.
All you need to do is find a sucker. And Sean McVay and Les Snead found their sucker. And it was Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot.
We found our sucker, but unfortunately, they're lucking their way into a playoff season right now.
Which is kind of, I don't believe in anybody. I believe in the Texans the most in that division. I just don't think that they're going to be able to do enough to win it.
No, they stink like us. It's just like, they're winning more games. The whole AFC is garbage, man. The NFC is winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy year.
There is a world where like a 7-seed Bills team gets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think that Drake May in his first year in the playoffs is going to run through the AFC and get to the Super Bowl?
That's why I'm trying to get out there. That's why I'm like, I don't know, Q. If the Bengals get into the playoffs, I don't think we're getting clapped in the first round. Not in this AFC.
Because they would be facing, if they get the 4 seed, they'd be facing maybe one of the AFC South teams. So maybe it's still Indianapolis or Jacksonville or Houston. They'd be facing maybe the Chargers, which I think the Bengals would beat the Chargers. Especially in Cincinnati.
Well, you get 4 versus 5, right?
Yeah.
Would the AFC North wild card guy be? Well, no, the AFC North wouldn't be 4. Okay, it would be 4. It would be 5. So it would be Jacksonville.
Yep.
Like Jacksonville or the Chargers, which I think
over Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, hell, they did it. Jake Browning threw 4 fucking
Jake Browning, yeah, came in.
Threw 3 chicken chalupa gifts to him, and they still couldn't win.
Well, Jared, you're underrating one very, very, very important part to this equation. The Jacksonville Jaguars currently employ Greg Newsome.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, and nobody has more smoke for Greg Newsome than the people in the Cincinnati Bengals. And that is their number 1 corner right now is Greg Newsome.
Yeah. Oh, what happened to Tyson?
Like, you imagine what Greg looks like when he can't hide behind Denzel Ward with Jamar Chase?
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Was Tyson Campbell the one that they traded for Greg Newsome?
Yeah, they swapped Tyson Campbell with us.
Yeah.
And
a friend of the show just tweeted if Ravens Steelers was a college football game, it'd be on the CW.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Tony Serino, fan of the show.
This game should be played on like the TLC network after like My 600-Pound Life.
It's like, this is the fucking TNT game.
Yeah, this is one of those Netflix ones.
The Mountain West on TNT.
Put this shit on Paramount Plus and get on with it.
It's Nevada against Kansas State.
You gotta get this channel on Tubi.
The only thing that makes me uncomfortable in this one is this is the issue for me. Although I want the Steelers to obviously win this game, if this is a close game, just like the Buffalo one was, that plays into Baltimore's hand because they'll be able to run the ball and not have Lamar have to save them in this game. That's what worries me about this one. So I'm gonna go Ravens because they're at home. They're gonna be able to run the ball. I still think that you guys split to end this season, but I'm gonna take the Ravens until I gotta see something better from Aaron Rodgers right now. Like, I don't know if it's the wrist. I know it's not on his throwing hand, but it's just really bad football right now. I'm not saying that they should go to Mason Rudolph because I'm not a Mason Rudolph truther, but they're gonna have to figure out something offensively against this Ravens team because it's only so long that you're going to be able to hold Derrick Henry. And the reason that we were able to hold Derrick Henry off was just because in the second half, we were able to push a lead to where they couldn't run the football. So I'm hoping that the Steelers win this one. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. So you Ravens fans that are listening, you can't say that I just always pick against the Ravens anymore. All right. We got some picks.
It's pretty I think in terms of like the like playoff ramifications, I want to say this is like the biggest one for Sunday in terms of like biggest swings.
It is a big one. It is a big one. Yeah, don't talk about the 6-7. The 6-7. Somebody's gonna be 6-7 after this. I do have Sonny's picks. So Sonny did send in his picks. I'll go in the order that we talked about him on the show. He's saying that he's going to take the Browns over the Titans. He says that the Browns defense will devour the Titans offense. He just doesn't see them being able to do anything. He's got the Bengals over the Bills. He says the Bills offense is not a well-oiled machine and the defense is full of injuries. I don't think that they'll be able to keep up with the Bengals. Are Sonny's thoughts on that one? So he's got the Browns and he's got the Bengals. And then for the marquee matchup, he says the Ravens, if we have the better version of Lamar Jackson. I basically think who will have less turnovers will be who wins the game. It will be a tight, physical game, but it's going to come down to who can protect the ball better. I think that's a good point because they are coming off of a game where they had 5 turnovers. And if you do that against Pittsburgh, you definitely, if you have any kind of turnovers against Pittsburgh, it could possibly cost you the game. We'll see, man. Lamar has a lot of fumbles. Like, we never talk about that. I always bring that up. I'm like, Lamar fumbles the ball like a lot. Most of the time, he recovers them, but you can get a couple of fumbles from Lamar Jackson.
He be one arm in that bitch. Like, he be just running the ball with like one hand.
Like, oh shit, I just dropped it on the ground. Like, yeah, dog, can't just be doing that.
He be using the ball like you be playing with cats. He be like, oh, look at that. And then just cut the other way.
For sure.
I hope to God this is a Lamar gets pissed and throws the helmet game. That would be great.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of those helmet throws last.
It is possible to give Lamar a get pissed, throw the helmet game, and still lose by like 30. I've done it before. The Browns have done it before. Now, what you need is the Lamar Gatorade towel game, right? Like, you remember the Cam Newton towel?
Right, where it's all over.
Yeah, he tucks the towel in. I'm like, that's what you need. He's a loose towel guy, right? He's not a tuck towel guy. He's a towel over the head, and then like sit like that. But if you got that, he's done. The Gatorade towel is the ultimate. Like, all right, he's done. He's cooked.
That's funny.
Nah, for sure. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to AFC North Talk. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. We appreciate you, and we will see you guys next week.